This Shabbat has a special name. It's named for Shira. It is called Shabbat Shira. This is the Shabbat of Song. So it's good to sing.
It's good to sing.
On this Shabbat of Song. It's always good to sing. So why is this Shabbat known as Shabbat Shira, the Shabbat of Song? The song in question is a mythic song. It is simultaneously about collective liberation, it is about a myth, and it is also about the personal narrative that each and every one of us gets to sing as we plot out our personal liberation. And this is a story that is old, and this song, some say, is the oldest fragment in the Bible. It's the oldest poem in what will one day become the Tanakh, the Bible. So this is the story of the song. According to the story, the Hebrew ancestors spent something between 200 to 400 years as a persecuted minority in the place of the narrow straits, otherwise known as Mitzrayim, Egypt. The story is that the Hebrew ancestors arrived as guests in this land that fed their famine and ended up as slaves. We don't have any archaeological or scientific proof that this happened. But the story lives and has lived in the memories of many, many people in the centuries and generations since. And the story is that these people were oppressed by people who were greedy and who wanted cheap labor and otherized their guests who became their slaves. And it was generations and generations of same old before something stirred that began this call that one day you will know as the word Dayenu, enough. Enough is enough. I don't want any more of this. I need liberation. This is simultaneously a story about collective liberation and a metaphor for our personal individual path. And according to the story that is told in a synagogue near you tomorrow morning, the ongoing saga of the Exodus, tomorrow is the story in which enough is enough. And after back and forth political negotiation, the Pharaoh says, okay, go. I've had it with your 10 terror campaign plagues. It's time to let you go. And so Moses and his sister Miriam and their brother Aaron and whatever this trinity of leadership was or was not, leads the people finally across the threshold into their new freedom. But it doesn't end there. They travel on and they get to the banks of the Sea of Reeds, Yam Suf. And they don't know how to swim, and the army is behind them, and they're between one death and another. And there are legends and stories about how the sea splits and what is the significance of that moment. But I'll cut through the chase, literally cut through the chase, to them getting to the other side. Seen the movie? If not, you got a whole weekend. Passover is coming in a few full moons. We'll get there. But they get to the other side. And what do when they get to the other side? They sing. That's the song, the oldest song, Shirat Hayam, the song of the sea. What do you pack when you run away for freedom? Drums. Drums. They pack their drums. The women pack their timbrels. And maybe matzah. And they looted gold. Well, never mind about that. But they had their drums. And so the story is that Miriam, the prophet, the singer, starts them dancing and singing, Ashir ala Hashem ki ga'or ga'a. I'm free. It's been too many generations. And they sing. They sing their song of liberation. It is in the Torah. It is considered an ancient, triumphant song of release. Wow, what a moment. There's more to that moment. Because while the Hebrew ancestors flee to freedom and sing their heart out with relief, the Egyptian soldiers who chased them drowned, along with their horses, every single one. And at that moment, Jewish legend says, the angels up above are watching this. At last, the liberation! And the angels want to sing along with the freed slaves. But the divine voice says to them, angels, you don't get to sing. Humans can sing, because from the human perspective, it can be binary. My liberation might come at the expense of their death. But you angels, from the divine perspective, מעשה ידיי טובעים בים, ואתם אומרים שירה? Humans are drowning while others are free, and you angels, shira, you want to sing? We don't get to sing. From our perspective, simultaneously, we're holding the joy of liberation and we're holding the sorrow of mourning. Every single one of these soldiers was a human being who has or had parents. So from the angelic point of view, from the pacifist point of view, from the humanitarian big perspective, yes, you don't get to sing when your oppressor drowns. You get to celebrate your liberation, but you do not get to sing when someone else is suffering. But that's the angels' take. The Hebrews sing. This Shabbat is known as Shabbat Shira. And there's lots of strange traditions on Shabbat Shira, including singing, and including going to the beach, if you live near a beach, and including, I don't know where this one comes from, but you feed the birds with breadcrumbs, because the birds sang along, according to one tradition, or something like that. And so this Shabbat Shira, I'm not going to talk about what's on our minds and on our hearts. It's hard to sing. It's hard to sing when there is so much sorrow and there is not your side or my side. There is all sides. And the only thing we know is that liberation is not just one side. Simultaneously, for every single one of us and all of us, we are bound up in each other's liberation. We get to sing one song. Yeah, from the angelic perspective. We hold each other's joy and sorrow. The old story of me versus you isn't helpful anymore. So what does it feel for us on this Shabbat Shira to sing a new song? To not gloat, but to figure out a new song which somehow combines both joy and sorrow, and embraces the rain that falls on us all, and commit to a future that we co-create. We don't know what it looks like. We, like the Hebrews, are enslaved inside a narrative of either or that we have not yet been liberated from. But we're working on it. This is a work in process. This liberation is ongoing, and it's going on right now. So I want to share a poem with you that is on our screens. And I will read in English. It was written in Arabic by Mahmoud Darwish, a Palestinian poet. And he wrote, "As you prepare your breakfast, think of others. Do not forget the pigeon's food. As you conduct your wars, think of others. Do not forget those who seek peace. As you pay your water bill, think of others, those who are nursed by clouds. As you return home to your home, think of others. Do not forget the people of the camps. As you sleep and count the stars, think of others, those who have nowhere to sleep. As you liberate yourself in metaphor, think of others, those who have lost the right to speak. As you think of others far away, think of yourself. Say, if only I were a candle in the dark." So on this Shabbat Shirah, let's be a candle in the dark. Let's be each other's liberation. Let's offer a new path where we both all are somehow become each other's healing and each other's balm. Let's find that in silence. Sometimes that is easier than song.